but we have now made it to the bottom of Lower Falls. Displaying the glory of God's creation by exploring America one park at a time. Welcome to Parking Full Time with Big Dave, the parks professor. Welcome back to Parking Full Time. I am Big Dave, the parks professor. We are at McKinney Falls State Park. We are on the east side of Austin, Texas, and definitely still within the Austin metro area. Today is Friday, February 21st, and the temperature right now is a cloudy and cold 36 degrees. Because of the temperature and because of the fact that I did not pack my cold weather gear on this trip, we need to keep this hike short today. And there are many trails at this park, but the hike we're going to do today features the two main waterfalls. In fact, the first one is through the trees off to the left. That is Upper Falls. So we're going to go down and take a look at Upper Falls, and then we will hike downstream to Lower Falls, and then hike back here to the Trailhead. That's the main visitor center right there. That is the plan for the hike today. So let's get to it. It's literally 2 minutes later, and we have now made it down to Upper Falls. Let me pan down here. Look at the big roots on that tree right there. That's impressive. Let me zoom out to give you a bit. Not that far, there we go. Huge plunge pool here. There's also a rock shelter underneath that bluff right there. Really scenic spot here at Upper Falls. Alright, so I'm going to enjoy this for a little bit, and then we are going to head downstream. We walked past the visitor center, and now we are hiking downstream. And directly in front of us here, in the middle of this ravine, is this huge cypress tree known as Old Baldy. I love big trees. And that's a big one. So that's scenic. We will keep heading downstream towards Lower Falls on the Rock Shelter Trail. It's only a few minutes later, but we have reached the Rock Shelter on the Rock Shelter Trail. Very impressive rock shelter. There is a heron down there to the left. That's Onion Creek down there. And let me see if I can focus on it here in a minute. I had to reposition myself a little bit, but there's the heron. So there's some interesting wildlife here as well. Let me zoom back out. We're directly under the rock shelter now. This is a very interesting area. We'll keep heading downstream. It's a few minutes later, and we had to walk across some bare rock, but we have now made it to the bottom of Lower Falls. Let me zoom out here. Now pan around so you can see the area as I see it. Not sure which waterfall I like better, Upper Falls or Lower Falls. The viewing location is better here. You get a nice head-on view. Both very nice waterfalls. They have plenty of water. At least this time of year they do. I like them. Now there is a trail that crosses the river above Lower Falls. and it continues. It forms a loop over on the other side of the river, but again, it's cold today, so we have to keep this hike short. And so we are now going to head back across the bare rock towards the visitor center and complete this hike. I chose to use the picnic trail as my return route. And as its name suggests, the picnic trail takes you through an area with a large number of picnic tables. And that's why I've been walking through here for the past few minutes. We're almost back to Upper Falls now. This has been a really nice hike. A short hike, but a nice hike. There's a lot to see here. There's the Waterfalls, of course. And there are also the rock shelter and Old Baldy. Some bare rock down near Lower Falls. And so very interesting hike, even though it's a short hike. Also, I suspect this would become a very popular area if it was warmer. And that's one of the reasons I chose to come here today. I figured it wouldn't be as popular today, and I was right. I do want to thank you for watching. Parking full time would not be anything without the people who watch. I realize that every day, and I thank you every day. Also, I want to remind you that I do not take any monetary compensation for anything that I do for this project. I took a vow to do that many years ago, and I have retained that vow. And so all I get for writing these blog entries and doing these videos are your likes, your subscribes, your views, and your comments, and I do appreciate all of those things. So I'm going to close out this video. Until next time, from McKinney Falls State Park, near Austin, Texas, I am Big Dave, the Parks Professor for Parking Full Time. Have a great afternoon, take care, and Lord bless.